Okay, so today we're looking at capacity, and I did say it's related to volume. In fact, what is capacity? Capacity is simply liquid volume. So let's write that down once I have this set up properly for you to see it. There we go. Is it on there? Yeah. Okay, so capacity is simply liquid volume, how much volume a container can hold. Okay, so that could be a cup, that could be a bowl, that could be a swimming pool, that could be any container that holds a liquid. Okay, so when we're dealing with capacity, what we do for a solid is we measure a solid in centimeters cubed. So a solid, it's measured in centimeters cubed. And when you go to liquid form, what happens is you change that into milliliters. So 1 milliliter equals 1 centimeter cubed. Liquids are measured in milliliters, centimeters cubed for solids. Now, all you guys want to be doctors, nurses, or if you're going to be a parent one day, probably, you need to know this because medicine is all volume, okay? And you only have to measure cubic centimeters or centimeters cubed, and it's the same as a milliliter. So often the syringe will have cc on the side. Whoopsies, that was weird. It will have cc written on the side of the syringe, and cc stands for cubic centimeter, which is the same as 1 milliliter. So they are the same thing. Okay? So when you're administering medicine to your child, you'll be looking for 30 cc's of cough medicine or cold medicine, which is 30 milliliters. And now you know why there's a cc on the side of the syringe or on the side of the medicine teaspoon or cup. All right? Any questions? Medicine, cc. Good. So going on then, we have some conversions. The really important one I highlighted. What I want you to do is put a box around this. You're going to be looking at these today a little bit. Put a box, make it a circle, make it a puffy cloud, do some artwork. 30 seconds. Go, artwork. Puffy cloud time. Oh, I love puffy clouds. There we go. See, I just want you to make it easy for you to find this while you're doing your work. Okay. Now, also keep in mind, you can go from liters to centimeters cubed. If you have meters cubed, what you have to do is convert the meters cubed into centimeters cubed, then you can go into liters. So that would be a two-step conversion. All right, when you're meters cubed, go into centimeters cubed. That will transfer over to liters or milliliters if it's a small number. All right. Going further then, we have some more conversion factors. We have gallons, quarts, cups, and pints. All right. So gallons are the large ones, and there's US gallons and UK gallons. All right. Write this down, Nick. Okay. Then you have quarts. That's a little bit smaller. 4 quarts in a gallon. Then you have pints, and then you have cups. Cups being the smaller unit for imperial. Okay. So these are all our imperial measurements. Cups being the smallest one. Then you're up to pints, then quarts. Now, to go to a metric system, you'll then go, a quart is about a liter, okay? 1 liter is 1 quart, okay? You're going to use this stuff all the time when you're cooking. So if you're in any, or mixing solutions, okay? Cooking and baking are a super common one because most of our recipes are from America. Why are most of our recipes from America? If you did a Google search, any ideas? Sorry? We live beside them, and what else about them? Similar culture, yep. Something else though. Size. We got 30 million people, they got 300 million people. So they're 10 times the size of us. So their internet space is probably going to be 10 times more than ours. So when we're looking up stuff, we're going to see American stuff, right? Often. So American recipes, American ideas, stuff like that. So do keep that in mind. That's another reason why we're working with this. Because a lot of info we're going to find is using American measuring. So here's some more. In their system, 4 quarts is a gallon, 2 pints is a cup. So 2 pints is a quart, and 2 cups is a pint. So you're going to have to get familiar. QT is for a quart, PT is for a pint, and C is for a cup. What you need to do is make sure this stands out. So do a puffy cloud, do a box, do a circle. Go ahead, artwork, 30 seconds, go. Make it stand out. Excuse me. Okay, I hope you did some beautiful artwork, made it stand out a little bit. Now this is where it gets a little bit confusing, is there's two of the same. So for the gallon, there's two different gallons. We have the British gallon or UK gallon. So British gallon is the UK gallon. And usually we have UK in brackets. And then we have the American gallon or the US gallon. Okay. Yep. Oh. Scroll down. Yep, I got it. So the British gallon is approximately 4.5 liters. And the American gallon, it's smaller. It's approximately 3.8 liters. But when you're doing, if you're looking at prices to see how much cheaper it is to fill up in the States with gas, you should actually use 3.78. Okay. So the American gallon is 3.78 liters. So when we go to the store to buy a jug of milk, a gallon of milk, we're not actually buying a gallon of milk. Any ideas what we're buying? We're buying 4 liters. Have a look at the jug. The jug does not say 1 gallon. The jug says 4 liters. Okay, because we're in Canada, we do Canadian things. We don't buy 3.78 liters. That would make no sense. We buy 4 liters. So our milk's it's a little bit more than what the Americans are. Keep that in mind. Okay. Good. Here's a few others, though. A few other weird ones. We have fluid ounces. There's a US fluid ounce, and there's a UK fluid ounce. So some of your homework questions are going to have converting fluid ounces to milliliters. You'll need these conversion factors. All right. There is this conversion factor as well. You might as well, for the sake of today, use 3.8 liters. Keep in mind the US is smaller, so write down smaller. And the UK gallon is larger, so you can write down the word larger. Okay. And I would just focus on the first conversion factor. Don't focus on the next one. Okay? It's only like 1/5 bigger, right? It's very, very similar in size. It's 1/5 of a gallon bigger. Other conversion factors that you're going to need down below. Okay, so down below, these conversion factors, you use these all the time. In fact, I used these this morning when I was making my stew, right? I was using teaspoons to measure, which 1 teaspoon is 5 milliliters, right? Throw that paprika on that meat, got to season that meat up. And then, of course, got to put in 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce into the old slow cooker, give it some flavor. 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, right? Some other spices, eyeball a little bit up. But these ones are common, right? Beef broth, right? I took 1 cup. I knew 1 cup was 250 mils, and you'll have both numbers on your measuring cups. So I put the beef broth in there. Now, when you're making your stew, really super important that you actually brown the meat first. You got to sear it. So you get it really hot. Get that oil hot. So it's just about smoking. Then put the meat on there, brown it up. Stew's actually cooking the meat twice. Did you know that? You sear the outside, and then you put it in and you slow cook the inside. It's going to be good. Can't wait for after the football. So these ones, make them pretty. Go for it. Make it pretty. Put a box around it. Nick, put a box around it. Do your artwork. Let's go. Now, there are some other ones that you're going to need. Okay, so once you're done your artwork, these ones are from a data table right here. Okay, so 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. Write that one down. That one comes up quite a bit. And a quart is about 1 liter. Okay, so this is approximate 4 liters, but not quite. That's why I had to use the approximate sign. It's not quite 4 liters. Okay. The other one that we're going to use is this one. There's 32 fluid ounces in 1 quart. Okay, 32 fluid ounces in 1. Whoa, why does this thing go black like that? you will have to use 32 fluid ounces in 1 quart. Okay. So we're going to review how to use these conversion factors in 1 second, as soon as you got these written down. Okay. For the conversion factors, you have to make a fraction. How you make that fraction depends on what you're trying to find. Okay. You guys good? Just waiting for a couple more. You got the down, Burson? Okay, perfect. Okay, so now that's frozen. There we go. We're going to take this conversion factor right here in blue. 3.52 fluid ounces equals 100 milliliters. So I can put this one on top, then this one will be on the bottom. Or I can flip it so that 100 mils is on the top and the other one is on the bottom of the fraction. So your two fractions are, one could be with 3.52 on top. There's 3.52 fluid ounces on top, 100 mils on the bottom. So this could be made into this as a fraction. Or I can make it into 100 mils on top and 3.52 on the bottom. Okay. That's how I can make this into a conversion factor fraction. Now, we're always multiplying our number. When we're doing conversion, we're always going to multiply our number. Always. Okay. So let's do a quick example. You guys ready? Let's convert. Let's say the question is 6 fluid ounces equals how many milliliters? That's the question. Okay. So we write that down. The answer then will be 6 fluid ounces times, and then we have to write our conversion factor. What's the conversion factor going to be? What number should go on top? Well, start by writing down your units. We want to find milliliters, so milliliters needs to go on top of the fraction. So fluid ounces will go on the bottom of the fraction. Okay. Then from your data table, you'll get the numbers. 100 represents milliliters, so it goes on top. 3.52 represents fluid ounces, so it goes on the bottom. And I knew that because I matched up the units. Okay. On the old calculator then, you simply multiply what you see. So on the calculator, I'll take 6, multiply by 100, and divide by 3.52. That equals 170.45. 170.45 milliliters. There you go. So now you can measure it out. You can actually now make this in your recipe. You can use it. All right. Any questions? Let's do another conversion. Let's convert 3 gallons US equals how many pints? Actually, let's go quarts. QT. Okay. So just on the bottom, 3 US gallons equals quarts. So write that down. 3 US gallons equals how many quarts? And we're going to multiply by the conversion factor to figure this out. So we'd start by writing down 3 gallons US equals, multiplied. Now for a fraction, we want to find quarts, so quarts must go on the top and gallons on the bottom. Okay. So whatever you're trying to find goes on top. That's been a theme in our last unit as well. So we go back up to our data table, and we're looking for quarts and gallons. Oh, right here, I believe it is. Our conversion factor is 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. So we go back, 1 and 4. So what number do I put on top? The 1 gallon or the 4 quarts? 4, because the 4 represents quarts and the 1 represents US gallons. On your calculator then, you will simply take the 3 timesing by the 4, dividing by the 1 equals 12. So 12 quarts. Okay. There you go. Now, if you're going to use Mr. Google, it'd be a little bit easier. And you are going to have to use Google because in your real life, you'll be using Google. Latest class, you'll probably be using Google. Tomorrow, you'll be using Google, at least to check. Right? So for using Google, you would type in, actually, I'll keep this down here. You would type in convert. Gotta start with the word convert. Convert 3 US gallons to quarts, QT. All right. So let's try it. Open up Mr. Googs. Convert 3 US gallons to quarts, QT. Enter. Boom, 12 US liquid quarts. Okay. Let's say we want to convert pints to milliliters. What word do we start with? Convert. Convert 46 pints to milliliters. There we go. 26,140 milliliters. Okay. You got to start with what word? Convert. What's the most important word? Convert. Okay. You got to start with the word convert. Any questions? So for our homework then, we're going to do a couple examples. Okay, let's do a couple examples here. Turn to the second page. Let's whip through these. So the very first one, you're converting 525 milliliters to quarts. So write down 525 milliliters times, what's your conversion factor? What has to go on top? Fluid ounces, and it's UK. What goes on the bottom? Milliliters. Okay. Why does fluid ounces go on top? That's the one you want to find. Write that down, Nick. Okay. So we go back up to our chart. Fluid ounces and milliliters. Where are we? Right here. 3.52 and 100. 3.52 and 100. So we go back and we go 3.52 over 100. And what does this equal? So we go multiply 525 times 3.52 divided by 100, 18.48 fluid ounces, UK. All right. Questions, comments, or concerns? Okay, so then the next one, US gallons into quarts. So we will multiply by the conversion factor. What are we trying to find? Quarts. So that goes on top. Okay. And gallons on the bottom. Now we already looked this up. It was 1 to 4. 4 quarts. So that goes on top. The number 4, 1 gallon goes on the bottom. And then you can multiply. 6.18 times 4 equals 24.72. Equals 24. That's a 499.72 quarts. Okay. So you're going to see these at the beginning. Now you want to do, let's do Google conversion. So 5 fluid ounces into milliliters, and it's US ounces. So what word do we start with? Convert. 5. Whoops. Oh, I did that this morning, so it came up already. Convert 5 US fluid ounces to milliliters. Press enter. 147.868. So then you could go with Google. 147.86. Good. All right. Any questions? So your homework, assignment number 2. Okay, you're multiplying by your conversion factors. Okay. The last one, number F, it's a double conversion. You got to go quarts to gallons and then to liters. Quarts to gallons, then to liters. Okay. These ones here, you're multiplying by your conversion factors. Questions, comments, concerns? All right. Begin. Good luck. Go. Have fun.